world has become tyrannical.
You want more of your people to die?
Deceptive. Dystopian. Fraudulent. Factual. Truthful. Direct knowledge. Has been taken away from the masses for the purposes of control. But enough is enough, dear friends.
We will not comply!
Now is the time to take what is rightfully ours. Welcome to the Syncretism Society Virtual Academy.
Welcome.
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 Welcome to the Syncretism Society
Virtual
Academy.
Within the Academy, we have great minds to collectively bring our alumni a staggering range of knowledge.
Based off decade after decade of quantifiable research.
Spanning from sound medicine,
yoga science,
Indian spirituality,
Medical astrology.
Wisdom to sovereignty.
Holistic health.
Esoteric sciences.
Astrotheology.
Acquiring these truths, dear friends,
will drive your empowerment and ability.
For proper ascension.
Take back your sovereignty.
Take back your knowledge.
Take back your freedom. Join us at the Syncretism Society Virtual Academy.
Welcome, friends, syncretists and lovers of truth, to the 61st episode on the Syncretism Society YouTube channel. Thanks for being with us. Appreciate your support. And best wishes and for tuning in. So today we have part 2 with Roberto Quicquequatl. I hope I've got that right. Roberto is joining us for part 2 of TOLTEC Wisdom of Mexico. Love this subject, guys. So 6 weeks ago we had Roberto, and everyone loved it. Everyone loved it. And so he's a big attraction on in our group, in our society. Roberto's doing wonderful stuff here, has been for years in Mexico, bringing syncretism to Mexico. So yeah, he's showing how Toltec wisdom is syncretism. All right, coming events, I have my middle of the week lesson, the last one in a series of 7, called How to Be a Competent Astrologer in 7 Easy Lessons. So I will conclude that this Wednesday, and then I'll return back to the languages one. And then we have a podcast with Stephen Scott, the founder of Numi. Numi is a new company that's made a breakthrough technology protocol with glutathione, which I support and have been for 3 or 4 months now, and the actual owner and founder of the company is going to be live with us at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, Wednesday, just an hour and a half before my weekly lecture. Stephen Scott. It's going to be a great show because... hey, am I still in the Zoom meeting? Yeah, I am, yeah. Where's Roberto? Okay, let's get him on. Okay, so then Chris Campbell, he's the only other guy who's doing live stuff at the moment. I think Micah Sky is going to come back and do some live stuff through the Academy as well. We want to try and get something going on every day. Well, I'm doing my weekly bit. Chris Campbell, he's doing his weekly bit. Then when Nicholas and Crystal come back, they'll fill up another couple of days. So we're going to have something live from the Academy, Syncretic Wisdom, going continuously. And next week's guest is David Thomas, aka Atum. Yeah. Or he has another name, actually. Let me have a look what his other name is. Frequency Whiz. That's on the 30th of July. He was very popular as well. So he's a third time back. So we've had a few 3-time backs. We've had, I think the only other one is Ken Wheeler. Ken Wheeler, Roberto's second time back. Atum has been back twice, now the third time. Yeah, so we've got some popular... Oh yeah, we're going to have Micah Dank as well. Micah Sky's been on twice. Micah Dank. And I do want to have... what's his name? Anyway, I want to have more of the... instructors on the Academy on live here as well, interviewed. So jump out and talk to me, guys. Some of you instructors, send me an email if you want to, showcase some of your stuff on this podcast. All right, to get out there. All right, so is he in? Hey, okay, guys, welcome. I hope I'm saying this right. If I'm not saying this right, Roberto, please... correct me and we'll get this correct for the record. Welcome, the subject, Toltec Wisdom of Mexico, second time back on the show, Roberto Quetzalcoatl. Oh boy. Is that good?
It's pretty easy. Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, that means singing serpent. Or singing snake. Singing snake.
Singing snake.
Quicat is canto, chant, to sing.
Uh-huh.
And coat is snake.
Right. Well, when I went to Tepoztlan 2 years ago, I went to Amatlan, which is right next door to Tepoztlan.
Yeah.
And that's the birthplace of Quetzalcoatl. So yeah. I actually have stood, this is the Christ of Mexico, guys. I stood in Amatlan, where Quetzalcoatl originated from, man. I mean, this is the land of the gods. I've also been to Palenque. I've been to Teotihuacan and did a beautiful live from there two years ago, Teotihuacan. I've also been, I'm only 3 hours from Chichen Itza, so I'm going to get there soon. Maybe if you come and visit, Roberto, we'll do a
Sure, yeah.
Why don't we do a Chichen Itza tour?
Yeah, actually I'm planning go the last week of August, so I will be in contact with you.
Great stuff, brother. That'll be great. We'll hang out again like we did in Oaxaca.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, that was good. Masunte. You been back?
Yeah.
You go back every time to Jesus's place?
Sometimes. No, this time not, because I'm with Shani, but I'm alone, yes, I go to Jesus' place.
Okay. Yeah. So is Masunta still live and doing well?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, brother, share your beautiful wisdom with us. I don't know where you want to start. I've got a suggestion, but I'll just let you go, because that's how I like to do things. I like to talk about what I've got prepared and what I want to talk about on the day. That way it's always different.
Sure. But I want to share my screen and a little bit. Yeah. Can you see the screen? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Tonali
matrix. Okay, so welcome to the second lecture of this TOLTEC wisdom. So the last part that we did, we finished here explaining the concept of tonali and nawali. That is very important because it's the same concept as syncretism teaches. It's the same concept around the planet with different perspective, a little slightly different. That's why we are explaining this, because we are talking about the same thing at the bottom of the everything. So today we're going to explain something that we made the commitment to explain to you. Where are we living in this reality that we are perceiving and experiencing on this 3D plane? Our ancestors, they did know very well where we are standing on and where we are living inside of this dream. Actually, they call the collective dream. This collective dream is called tonali, and also is called, sometimes we call mitote or mitotilistli. That means a dance, because now we are in the collective hive mind dream that everybody is dancing at their own rhythm, but now everybody is speaking and nobody understands each other because we are full of smokes and veils that we can see clear. That's why the concept of the skatipoka, that means the smoke mirror, because our mirror has been veiled because these smokes and fumes that are in between. So the point of this is to get rid of that veil and start to see the reality with our perception, not with our beliefs, because our life now is based in beliefs. And the main concept of Toltecayot is do not believe anymore. Start to experience. Start to know. Now the new era, the new age of Aquarius also is the same, has the same principle. Now we are in the age of the I know, and the Pisces was I believe. No, now I know. Why I know? Because I experienced by myself. So that's the point of this perception. The doors of perception has to be open and start to see clearly and through our own experience everything. So that's the point of this tonali matrix. Our ancestors named this matrix with the name of tonali. Tonali means light, electricity. That is how our holographic projection is made of light, that we explained the last lecture. The illusion, the holographic projection that we are experiencing. We are living now, as you can tell here, in electric cities. Electricity is an anagram of electricity cities, electric cities. And you can tell here our modern and also the ancient cities, they look like a motherboards of computer, no? Computer motherboards is the same, because we are living in this holographic projection and producing energy, because our energy is harvesting all the time, is collecting this energy that we are producing through these kind of devices, and also we can call it antennas, no? Because in the past, as we know, most of the people that follow the teachings, the Santos teachings, in Tartaria Empire, we have this kind of technology that they have these antennas to collect the energy from the ether and produce any kind of energy, electric energy, magnetic energy, sound energy, whatever, as well as body. Our body is, no? The same, is a machine, a biomagnetic resonant machine. The point of this is to realize where we are stepping on this kind of electricity. And this is another thing that we have discovered, that maybe this kind of archetypes are describing something like a microchip like this. Ancient Mayan art and modern microchips and circuit boards. And if you see this, it's clearly that they are talking about technology, because in the past they have technology more than the ours. Because now I think we don't have the for me, I can call it technology as well, because now we have devices, and it's okay, it's useful for now, but it's just devices. In Spanish, we call it aparatología, devices aparato, no? Aparatología, like, okay, but that's not the real technology. The real technology is the things that they have in the past. Actually, no more than 150 years ago, we still have this kind of energy, the free energy from ether, and we can manipulate all the kind of waves and frequencies and create beautiful monuments and beautiful cities also, like our ancestors did, because they had the real technology that now for us is banned, is forbidden to use it, because now we have this reset in our mind that we don't remember everything and anything. So as you can tell here, they knew exactly how to manipulate the energy and create free energy with this kind of circuits. And a second. So they know that we are in the closed system with this kind of extraction matrix energy, that they knew that we are surrounded by this kind of coils, because the sun and moon are coils that they are producing kind of an interacting magnetism, electricity, and this kind of energy that we already know. And this is an anagram for Israel, Isis, Ra, and El, electricity. So they are talking about the duality, death, reincarnation. El, electricidad, electricity, then the merge. Ra, Isis. And they are in this cult, in the Jesuit cult, to light, sun and moon, Sol or moon, the temple of Sol or moon, the Sol y Luna, Sol, moon, and Luzbel, Lucifer, Baal, Jah, Yabel. They are talking about the same archetype in the modern times with this kind of religion. And as we can tell, we are talking about allegories and astrologies and all kind of things that we see are above us in the celestial chest. Because this is very crucial, that we have to realize that everything is based in sound. This creation, the mother of creation is sound. Is the first source. It's made of sound. Actually, the Vedas, they say the same, no? The Om, and the Bible, the bird become flesh. They're talking about frequency, sound. That's why we have around the planet the same archetype of the serpent, because every snake is representing sine waves, any kind of waves, because we have a square and a triangular, different kind of shapes. But the ruler of this reality is the sine wave, is the dual wave, positive, negative, because we were born into sin, that is an anagram of sine, because that's why we have this kind of myths of in the Bible and everywhere you can find it, because we are under the control of the light. Now is manipulated from the original, is manipulated, and to become from infinite to limited, and separate in 7 layers of frequency, because our eyes, we don't see, we decodify frequencies. That's the correct term. We are decodifying frequencies with our eyes. This is the electromagnetic spectrum that we can decodify, 7 layers of these frequencies. And we have here the red and the blue sheet. And this is very important because this is the foundations of the Quetzalcoatl archetype, because Quetzalcoatl is an archetype of evolution. They're talking about that we are living inside of this dual wave, sine wave, oscillating between positive, negative, good, evil, whatever. The point of this is overcome this kind of frequency, this kind of density that we are living in.
Roberto?
Yeah?
Can I just make a comment?
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to make it, because you're making all the same conclusions that I would make. But just in case you don't, the sine wave is a vibration, and vibration comes from the Spanish word for serpent, víbora. It's the same root.
The same root.
Yeah. So the serpent that seduced Eve, the sine wave, is the vibration universe. Because the radiation universe, that's the dream time. There's no vibration really there. So there's, so radiation steps down to vibration, which creates the world of illusion, the world of the serpent. Víbora.
The world of illusion is created by this dual sine wave, and also is not the same thing, vibration and resonation. This is the resonate.
Mm-hmm.
To resonate and vibrate is different.
Yep.
If you are in the vibration, in the víbora, in the snake, you are in this kind of dual life, in the transversal wave that is going to decay and death at some point. But in the other is the wave that resonate and radiate from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the mind, the game of the mind. Positive. That's why we have 2 hemispheres, left and right. Is dual. It does the point of the life. Our Toltec's grandparents, they say you have to come from this to this, to your heart. From duality, return to unity, and there is our heart.
Yep.
The heart is the boss, is the master chief of everything, not the brain, not the cerebrum, not the mind. This is the controller. The point of this is of Quetzalcoatl, that's the real meaning. It's not a god at all, because our ancestors didn't believe in gods. That's a bullshit of the Jesuit creed, that they brought their gods and their stupid things that now we are believing in. Our ancestors believe in the concept that you have to become in your own God, becoming your own energy, and also create your own energy, because you are a fractal. You are part of the creation. You are part of the source. The source. We are the whole and the part. We are a small droplet from the big ocean, and every droplet contains everything in the ocean of the ocean. Every drop, if you analyze and see and observe the drop of the ocean contains everything, but it's not the ocean. And then if you put together all the droplets, you're going to get the ocean. So that's why our ancestors didn't have the concept of superior or inferior, because you are just different expressions from the source of sound, expressing different frequencies. Actually, fractal, I think a fractal is a kind of anagram of frequency. It's the same concept. For me, a fractal is a frequency, but these frequencies come from the same source, the source of sound. But the original is the radiant and the spiritual wave that comes from Nahual, from the Nahuali, from the totality. We are living in the very small part of the reality that is 1% of reality, and the 99% left is the Nahuali that we can perceive with our very limited senses that we have in this plane. So the point of Quetzalcoatl is that to get rid and overcome these veils and these programs and these paradigms, dogmas, beliefs, to start to believe under the experience of your self-experience. And that's why actually the serpent or the snake represents the matter also. The matter, the things that are is the density, is the lowest frequency that is going to anchor you to this matrix, to this illusion. Because if you see any kind of reptile, it's going to be dragging, and also the vision of the snake is very limited, because it can see through the ground and very limited. But then you have to achieve your self-transformation, leaving behind everything and overcoming your how can I say this, your limits, and also your attachments.
Right. Detachment.
Yeah, your attachment. And then you have to transform that matter, your body, from carbon to crystal, to silicon again. And that's why they say, okay, this snake has to change their shape. And that's why they represent the spirit with feathers, because now with feathers is a symbol of a bird. A quetzal. Quetzal is a beautiful bird from Central America, from Guatemala, from Chiapas, from that part of the continent. It's a very beautiful bird, quetzali. Quetzali also means beautiful. And the feathers of this bird are very colored and very beautiful. And that's why the allegory, you have to transform this serpent in something beautiful. And now also the feathers is a symbol of wings. So that's why it's the dragon. And in other traditions, like in China, it's the same dragon that we can see here, because we're talking about the same archetype. It's an archetype of evolution, transformation, that you have to transform this kind of density to a subtle energy that is going to rise and elevate and ascend in spirit. Spirit means connection, and in connection with your heart and with your soul. Because now our body is managed by the larvatic body. The larvatic body is the mental body. The mental, and also the parasites, the physical parasites that we have inside that control, because the belly, the intestine control this. So that's why we have to defeat. That's why our ancestors said, I am my own world, I am my own medicine. Because the war that we have to fight is against the physical parasites, fungus, and also all the habits, the negative habits, the customs and the patterns, and etc. In order to evolve in something better, to leave behind that kind of being that we used to be, like zombies. We used to live like zombies. That's why our ancestors, that kind of zombie, they call it in Nahuatl tlacat. In tlacat, in Nahuatl means half, because they say human bodies, when they arrive to the matrix, to the tonali, They are half because they are not complete yet. You come here to complete yourself.
That's interesting, Roberto, because Jupiter is the cause of splitting souls in half. Jupiter, or Zeus, boasts, I am the one who splits souls into two so that forever each one is looking for their other half. Not forever, but I mean in his jurisdiction. So Jupiter is the principle of splitting souls in half.
That's right, yeah. I told you we are talking about the same thing now from different perspective, but they say, okay, you are a half, you came here to complete yourself, and then you're going to become, everyone can become in a Quetzalcoatl. That's the real mission here, becoming Quetzalcoatl. It's not a god. It's an archetype that is teaching you how to transform yourself in a better version of yourself every day, every day, not just once, every day, evolving and leaving behind of the stupid programs and the stupid things from the materialism, because also we don't have to forget that we are living in a physical realm, that it has principles, and we have to respect that principles. If you break the principles, you're going to pay the consequences. That's why the modern human beings, we are paying the consequences to be living in the environment of gluttony and drunkenness and fornication and all the things that we are experiencing in the excess, in the very excess life that we are finishing and wasting our fine energy, fornicating, etc., eating, gluttony, drinking. That's the point of Quetzalcoatl, overcome those negative habits and then becoming in another kind of being that now it has a beautiful wings, of beautiful feathers that can fly, and now you are going to pass from the ground to the higher ground. Now you can fly freely. You're going to become in a free being that can see in 360 degrees with the totally domain of the terrain, and also we're talking about the sovereignty. This is part of the sovereignty topic that they are talking about, that you have to achieve by yourself that. But first you have to realize all kind of things that where are we living in, and understand how to interact in this, and how to and also respect the principles of the physical realm, and then how to manipulate the energy here. And when you learn to manipulate that energy, you can have control of the matrix, not of the contrary, because now the matrix is controlling you. Then you can control matrix. You can create project your own reality. You become in a magician. You become in a Nahual, in a Toltec, that now you're experienced by yourself, and you can project everything, because we can. This is very true. We can co-create this reality, and actually we are co-creating, but we are co-creating the reality based in the programs that we receive from the system, from school, from your family, from your country, from the planet. We are involved in the collective dream. And the point of this is get out of the collective dream and start to create your own dream in a better one, in the coherent state, from the resonance, and using the correct frequencies. And that's why we are explaining this, because everything is based in 5 principles. Everything is sound, frequencies, magnetism, electricity, and energy. If you know and learn how to manipulate these forces, these 5 forces, you can do whatever you want to do here. And also ascend and get out of this matrix also. That's the point of becoming a Quetzalcoatl. And it's now becoming a better version of yourself. So that's why we have the existence. Is the X. The X mark the point. And the X is the chromosome. Chromosome is chronos, time. Also, chromo means color, because we are living in the colors, in the life of the tonali, in the illusion, the 7 colors, the 7 frequencies. Soma in Greek means body. So we can say the chromosome is the body of colors, of the body in the time, in the paradigm of time, in this frequency. That this is the prison that we are living, because we believe in this kind of programs. And also Satan, we can, if you listen very carefully, is Satan. Satan is Satan. 10 number is binary code. We are talking about that Satan is that. We're living in this matrix, binary codes, positive, negative, positive, the signal wave. And also 10 is equal 1, and 1 is uno, ano, Janus, anu, Anunnaki. Mm-hmm. We can see that we are under this under control of this kind of beings that we already very well know. So that's the point of this. The inside of our body we have this kind of chromosomes, because we are made of this kind of energy, and also we can also transform our matter in something better. Even though we are made or modified, even though if they modified our body in something very inferior that we used to be, because they want to transform this physical body into transhumanism. No, they want to transform in a machine now, and also that's why they are implanting this kind of shit, of the black goo and graphene and etc. Because we used to be crystal beings made of silicon, and now we are going back to the carbon state. They want to carbonize our existence. Wow. And as you can tell here, in this archetype, they are telling this. They're talking about the chromosomes.
Yeah.
Of course, this kind of stone, it has a lot of meanings, but one of those you can see very clear here. They are talking about here, and everything is pointing to the center, to the middle. That's why this kind of archetype, our ancestors called it the quincux, and they call it macuil xochitl. Macuil xochitl in Nahuatl means 5, macuil, flower, xochitl, flower, because it's a flower of 4 petals with the center, and everything is in your navel heart.
Roberto.
Yes, tell me.
Did you know that in Teotihuacan there is a temple in the middle, at the end of the road, right where the pyramid of the moon? There's a temple in the middle called the quincunx.
The quincunx. They're talking about this.
Yeah.
The quincunx is the equilibrium, because the 5 is equilibrium. Every even number, uneven number, comes to unify, because you can divide it. It's only you come to. That's why we make this kind of how do you call this in India, the mudra, no? That in mudra, in Nahuatl mudra we call mana. Macho mana. In Nahuatl we call mana, macho mana. This mana, because they're talking about 5 and 5, 10. 10 is 1, no? Unity, 1, and you can divide it. That's why the 5th element is going to integrate everything, but it's in the center. So that's why the cross marks the center, the exit. Actually, in our plane, it's the same thing. I'm going to explain you a little bit later. So the X is 1 binary code. The X is the existence. Now the next one.
Wow, existence.
Existence. And now this is the complete stone, and they're talking about, this is a description or depiction of the plane that we are living in. In the center we have the force, and also you can see the maps with the 4 islands and the Mount Meru and the Rupert Nigra, whatever, no? They are talking about this. This is the center of the energy, and also the tongue. That I'm going to explain you very briefly because this is very, very extended. This kind of imagine to explain this kind of picture, I have to make a lecture of 5 hours minimum because it's very long and very interesting. But I just want to explain very briefly and the main concept. So you can tell in the middle, in the center, we have a human face. That's why our ancestors, they didn't believe in gods or goddesses. It's like a Buddhism. In the center is the human being, because the goal of the Toltec, or the target of the Toltec Coyote, is to empower and encourage the human beings. We don't worship anything outside of us. That's the point of it. We are not giving our energy to this kind of vampires, archons, and whatever you want to. In our Toltec tradition, the archons, we call them tsitsi mimes. So we are not going to give energy praying, because when you pray, you become in a prey. Yeah. They are eating from you. So that's why we have humans here in the middle of everything. The center is your heart, and is the human being. And the main thing of this is the tongue, and the tongue is talking about frequencies, sound. That's the meaning of the tongue. That the source comes from sound. That's the main source in equilibrium. And also they are explaining the center is spiritual, is the Nahual. And the periphery is material. That's why it's represented with the serpents, with the snakes, because the snake represents the matter, the density. So it's the same. We are watching here the ripple effect, that from the center is going to expand, and the center is the main thing. This is the spiritual eternity, and this is the time duality, mind, matter, density. That's why it's represented with two snakes. But the main thing of this is that in the center we have the power of sounds and frequencies. Everything is a frequency that you have to change and manipulate. So that's why we are living now in very altered frequencies. That's why in the Mason shields have G, because G is representing a note. It's G sharp. And this is the frequency that we are now involved, 6.666 hertz. And also means gravity, because gravity in Greek or Latin, I don't remember, but it means weight, density. It doesn't exist the force, no? Because it's not a force.
So when did we go to G sharp? When did that happen?
Sorry?
When did the universe tune to G sharp?
G sharp.
Yeah, when? It always?
Oh, no. After the Chief Jack of our plane, no? Because we didn't have, we used to live in another kind of harmonies and another kind of, actually it's the same thing that happens with music, no? Because music changed the tune of music from 432 to 440. Yeah. It's the same. In that transition, we lost 8 harmonics. Right. No, four harmonics, because we used to have 12 harmonics. Yes. And now in 440, we have only 8. Yep. It's the same here. This is G sharp, and it's a frequency that is 6.66. It's a frequency that if you want to fight this or battle this frequency, you have to, this is the protagonist, then you produce the antagonist, and then it's going to, crash. And when they crash or put together, they neutralize. You neutralize the other, and it's zero. And that's the principle of zero. How do you call this? The scalar energy and 0 point energy.
Yep. Wow. So, do you think the original tuning was the key of C?
I don't know the original, because we don't know yet. which was the original. That's the mission now. It start to search more and investigate more and to start to find the truth. But it's very clear that the frequency has changed.
Yeah.
And then everything is frequency, everything is sound. I'm going to put you a video. I'm going to play a video that you want to see. The flying stones. Look at this, just with frequencies.
Wow.
If you produce a frequency, you can levitate. This is acoustic levitation. It does the example how our ancestors built Teotihuacan, in Egypt, whatever, around the planet, they used kind of this technology because they knew how to manipulate frequencies and the matter and electricity, magnetism, energy. So that's the point of this plane, to realize that we are living in this kind of waves. This is another example in this video of the wave. This is two speakers that produce kind of frequency. And look at this, the result. The frequency produce kind of light. And then look at this. This is the DNA, our DNA. It's made of sound. The DNA is a frequency, it's a sound.
It is. It's sound.
It's just sound. It's like if you are a musician or you are familiar with the music now, the industry, we to record our music, we use a program, a software like Pro Tools. In the Pro Tools, you can see on your screen the sine waves when you play something. It's the same thing. Our DNA is like like this frequency that you can see in the screen. And to manipulate the DNA, just change the frequency. You don't have to do this kind of bullshit in the laboratory, mixing that. For me, that's bullshit. They manipulate the DNA with another frequencies. That's why they are altering the frequencies in the planet all the time. And also the archons and this kind of beings that they are vampires, like etherical vampires, whatever you want to call them. They don't. They can take some kind of frequencies also. I don't know if you remember this movie, that Spider-Man movie, the Spider-Man 3, when we see this villain Venom. Venom is also then talking about the black goo. And to defeat Venom, they use tubular bells. And Spider-Man starts to produce the sounds. That this kind of being is going to alterate it. I can take this kind of frequencies. So that's the secret of everything, frequencies. And also that's another allegory of Quetzalcoatl. We are living in this kind of frequency that is very dense, very heavy. That's why the anagram, and also for gravity, is density. They're not talking about the force. They're talking about we are living in this frequency that is very dense. And now you can tell here the cymatics. This is the Chacana, La Chacana. This is the cross of Quetzalcoatl also. And the Samash from Sumeria. And look at this. It's just sounds, frequencies. Everything is frequency. So every archetype and symbol around the planet was taken from cymatics. Our ancestors, they didn't invent it like from the nothing. Oh, I want to create this, I want to create that, just because I dream it. Perhaps some things, no? But they start to create the symbols from the sound, because sound is telling us. Sound creates the shape of the world, of the planet, of the everything, of the universe. Actually, the word universe is universe, uno, verse. No, un verso.
Yep.
One verse, because they're talking about the frequency.
Yep.
Now, so look at this.
Wow.
It's the same. This Cali in India, Mexico, and just cymatics, sound. This is our ancestors where they took these symbols from this.
Hey, Roberto, I know you know this, but I just want to insert this. So sound is audio.
Audio, sí.
God, Dio.
Yeah.
And light is video. So just like even the Bible says, God is
yeah, for sure.
light and sound. Audio and video.
And actually audio, the two first letters is A and U, and A and U is the symbol of gold.
Yep.
So it's the gold of Dios, of God.
Golden light.
Yeah, golden light. E, again, the tongue in Cali, the tongue here is representing sound.
Yep.
Spoken word is because that's why the first Toltec agreement is telling you, be impeccable with your words and also respect your word, because your word is going to create reality, because you are producing sound, you are creating. That's why in the Aladdin story, the genius from the bottle said, okay, your words are my commands, because you are to organize this chaos, you have to start with your voice. Actually, the word abracadabra comes from the Aramaic that they say Agdaber Dabar. And Agdaber Dabar means I create the reality with my words. Abracadabra means that I create my reality with my words. That's why now we are just saying, actually the modern languages are distorted, and we are cursing all the time. And actually in English is very easy to see, because to spelling is you are creating spells. And grammar comes from the French grimoire or grimoire. A grimoire is a book of spells.
Good one.
We are spelling, we are making course, we are coursing all the time, and also it's not incoherence. The Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, English. In the Bible, in the Tower of Babel, they say that's true. That they change. I think that's why the crucial point of the history in the Babel Tower, they changed the frequency there. I think so. And they change the frequency, and also they create these modern languages that we are using in the modern times.
Yep.
And this is I told you, this is the ripple effect.
Yeah.
That we are living
It
here.
is.
So you have to realize that we are living in this world of sound. And also our ancestors around the planet, and then we still use it, the shell. In what we call a tecocoli, the shell, to blow it. And when you blow it, you are producing sound and you're creating resonance, and you are cleaning the environment, because sound is going to break any kind of free, ¿cómo se le llaman estos? Also, I forgot in Spanish.
Dilo en español.
Sí, pero I forgot radicals, free radicals. You break los radicales libres, los free radicals in the particles. You clean it with sound. You can clean the space with sound, and also with incense. That's why we also burn incense. In Mexico, we use copali, this resin. In the Tibet, use another kind of different plants or whatever. All the planet uses the same practicals to cleanse the environment. But the sound is the main thing. Actually, when I start my Temazcali therapy session, I start every stage with a blowing the shell, the tecocoli.
Yeah.
Oh. And now you can see here in Peru, Bolivia, India, Japan, Tibet, Mexico, Oceania, Brazil. We use this kind of instruments to cleanse the environment using sound. Another expression of the sine wave, the original one, the ripple effect. And then this is another allegory of the serpent, of the snake. is representing a coil. Look at this. This is a coil, a pancake coil.
Yep.
To produce energy. And also this is a pyramid here in Mexico City.
Yep.
They're talking about the ripple effect, and that represents also the Quetzalcoatl effect. And this is another very crucial thing to understand and learn about sound waves. This is another kind of wave. This is a square wave. I don't know if you know, Santos, this kind of device that called zapper.
Yes.
Well, the zapper is very useful. I recommend it. I actually use it.
I have one.
Cool. Because it's a generator, a frequency generator. In people observe that when you use this kind of wave, a square wave, using to the positive, because as you can tell here, is toward to the positive. Because if you go to the negative, you can create the opposite effect. Because when you use it to the positive, you can destroy bacteria, fungus, parasites. Using just sound is very powerful. But if you go to the negative, you can feed them and create more population inside of your body. Actually, that's how is the moon interacting with us. The moon is negative, brothers and sisters. The moon, that's why we call monsters, comes from moonsters. And also in Spanish, we said lunatico. And also in English, lunatic, because it comes from the moon. The moon altered our because its frequency is negative and the light is cold. And also help the parasites to thrive. That's why we have this kind of myth and stories of the werewolves. When we have the full moon, you become literally in a beast. And it's also in the record of the police station and around the planet. When this moon is the full moon, they have more rapes and riots and disorder, because the moon alters our frequency, and also is feeding these fucking parasites.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we have to use the frequencies and trending to the positive. And here, as you can tell, we have Quetzalcoatl in a square wave. It's a square. It's very clear. Here inside of the square, we have the humans healing. So they are telling us this. They use frequencies to heal themselves and to protect themselves from this, and also from other parasites.
So when you say positive, are you talking about negative charge?
Yeah, sure. I'm talking about the positive not in the spiritual way of be good or bad. No, in the positive charge.
Not negative charge.
No, negative charge. No, is you have to make it in the positive, more in the positive.
Interesting.
When I use zapper, I put the frequency to 69% to the positive. 69. I use 69. You can use, but if you go down to a minor 50, is negative. It could be dangerous because you can create the opposite effect of the zapper to kill the parasites.
Gotcha.
Actually, Christian Amenofis explained this very good about these frequencies. And
I thought Christian Amenofis used negative energy, not positive. But we can interact with difference because they are using zapper. They are using this scalar energy machine. Okay.
It's different.
It's different. Okay, gotcha.
It's different, yeah.
Yep.
And then we see the representing in our cosmology Quetzalcoatl, and the other side is Tezcatlipoca. Tezcatlipoca is representing the Nahuali, is representing the perception, and Quetzalcoatl is representing the evolution. And you have to integrate both inside of you to grow and flourish your DNA transforming in something better and superior every day.
Wow, there it is. Look at that, man. Is that an ancient Mexican cultural depiction?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then we represent also the sine wave like this. In this, another allegory and metaphor, the caterpillar, the metaphor of the butterfly. The butterfly in Nahuatl we call papalot, the papalot. The papalot is the archetype of transformation and metamorphosis. That's what we have to do here. Transform ourselves and in a superior being, because now we are living like caterpillars. It's the same concept of the snake. And then this caterpillar is going to transform itself in this. It's going to, by its own merits and its own energy, is going to climb the tree of the plant and then create a cocoon, go to the silent, and also this creature is looking silent and darkness. It's the same in our mother's womb. It's cozy, it's darkness, and also we need those kind of energy to transform ourselves and create something new. Actually, it's the same with the plant. The seed needs silence and darkness inside of the soil, of the soil. So that's the same metaphor for everything here. Go to the cocoon, and by your own merits and by working by yourself, because nobody can help you. It's a very individual process. Nobody can do the work for you. Forget that is going to come Christ or Krishna or a politician. Nobody's going to come to help you. You have to help yourself and do it by yourself.
Yeah. Good point that a seed needs cold and dark. So the caterpillar is in coldness and in darkness, and then metamorphs into a butterfly. So that's what we're going to do, that process. It's called apotheosis in the West. Apotheosis. So becoming theos, or God, which is who we are. We come.
Yeah.
So that God in the middle of the Toltec, the Aztec calendar, that's you. That's you. That's you're that God from the source, and here on this earth plane. But it's the same thing. You can never be separate from that one. So, but we have to ascend from this caterpillar in the darkness into the light and become, the full gods that we are, or the fullness that we are.
Yeah, becoming a better version of yourself. Look at this. From this into this, beautiful, is lighter, is free. It's the same thing that you have to achieve here in this tonality in order to ascend, in order to escape from this madness. Because remember, this is not our home. This is just an experience. But this is just a game. You have to finish this game at some point. But we are forgetting all the time, because we have been resetting our system. But as soon as you die, you pass again through the samsara process, and they are going to erase your memory and everything, and they're going to recorporate to the system, to the matrix again in another body, and start another life with any sense. But the point is to remember and use this reincarnation, and at least try it. At least try it. We don't know if we're going to achieve it, but because it's a very hard work to do. It's not impossible also, because our ancestors made it. Actually, the Maya, the Saints, the Hopis and Assasis, a lot of people from Egypt, from Los Essenians and Senians, the Cathars, all the ancient cultures, they left the maps and the steps to achieve the ascension from this video game and escape from here. But for that, you have to achieve this. And that's why we have the symbol of this in Anahuac. This is our symbol in Anahuac, because this is called four butterfly. Now we papalot, 4 mariposa, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, butterfly. Because they are talking about this. That's why here the Toltecs have in their chest the butterfly, because they achieve that, and they are warriors from the flourished world, and also they come from the flourished death also, because they kill the parasite, they kill the zombie that they used to be, and now they are not just half, now they are complete.
Gotcha.
And now, boom, you are a Quetzalcoatl, you become in that energy inside of your heart, using your own energy, creating own energy, and by your own merits, by your own work. To describe that, we have in Nahuatl a word. You have to become first in a Masewali. Masewali means that everything earns by her or his own merit. Is I don't know in English, maybe you can help me. We say merecedor. Worthy, because you are worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Masewali means worthy, because you earn it by yourself, by your own merits.
Meritocracy.
Yeah, meritocracy. Nobody's going to give you anything. Our ancestors, you have to make responsible for your own life. Stop to be a victim, and also that you're going to achieve this. And then we have the concept of Ometeot, the Toltec cosmic principle, that Ometeot means energy, one, dual, triune. It's correct? Triune?
Yep.
Triune. It's a metaphor of three. It's not dual, because Ometeot is one in essence. ¿Cómo le decimos en agua? Senteot, one. The source, same. One in essence, we are one. In expression, now in projection, we are two in manifestation. And in the action, we are three.
Wow.
That's the total. That's Ometeot means. That's why we say all the time Ometeot is our mantra, because we have to remember that we have to come from duality to unity again. It's a synthesis. It's thesis, antithesis, synthesis.
Syncretismo.
Exacto, sin, without.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
And the word you've got there, Semanawak, Sem is also one. Sin is one, to syncretize, unify. Well, Semanawak is the same word as syncretismo.
Yeah, it's the same. We're talking about the same principle here. And this is the point of this. Be Ometeot. Ometeot is not a god, it's not that bullshit. This Ometeot is just a principle to self-transformation. Be Ometeot. Yep. And you don't have to worship anything outside of you. Mm-hmm. Be responsible of you and overcome your mind, your parasites, fight bravely like a warrior, your flourished world, and then by your own merits, by your own work, you're going to get there, and you're going to be called in a Nahuali Toltec Nahuali.
Wow.
And then we're using Ometeot. And also Ometeot is also explaining the toroidal field, because it's something that generates, operates, and dissolves. It's the same principle of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva.
Yeah.
We can find this trinity around the planet. But in metrics, everything is dual. So the toroidal field, it could be good and bad.
Yep.
The toroidal it could be bad if you get trapped in the energy of the loop, because it's a loop.
Mm-hmm.
It's a loop. It's an infinitive that if you don't realize and be aware that you have to escape, you're going to be in the samsara looping, not escaping. But otherwise, you can use it for your own benefit, this energy, because with this energy, you can be here the time that you need to achieve this, because that's why our cells works with this kind of principle. They are their own batteries. We don't need to eat. We don't need nothing, because we are self-sustainable.
Yep. Wow.
With this energy. So if you use Ometeot and the toroidal field for your own benefit, you can be here in the autonomy energy, using the autonomy energy of from your heart and escaping from this loop. Yeah. That's why we use this word called purgatory, toroidal, because we are purging here. But if you don't are aware that you have to escape from this loop, you're going to be in chronos, the chronos. That's why you have to now from the time pass to synchronize. Synchronize means without chronos, without time. Chronos means time. Is seen as without also. So synchronize is the point of this. Synchronize yourself is living out of the concept of time, because you can be here the time that you need using this principle, this energy of generation, operation, and dissolution. But you have to be very wise to don't fall in this trap of the time and the paradigms and the programming and especially in the samsara cycle.
Yeah, time. I tell you, I hate time. I don't like time. I'm not a fan of time, man.
No, me neither. Time is just a concept.
It's just horrible. It's boring. Time is boring. Aryans in particular do not like time. We are the sign. We are the most impetuous, impatient, impulsive, compulsive haters of time. You know, Aryans, and I'm Aryan, so. But
also you can see here that Ometeotl is Trinity, and also you look at this. This is the Mayan mask, and it's with the same concept of the tongue, outside the tongue, because they're talking about sound frequencies. Use this for your benefit, but because you have to use this energy in order to escape from here, not just in the samsara cycle. And also another Toltec expression of the same principle of Ometeotl, Trinity. It says that Toltec psychology affirms that our totality is composed of three energies: the animal, that's our biology; human form, the culture; and Nawali, our consciousness, potential. Another concept of Ometeotl.
Wow. So Nawali would be like what we would call the god, the angelic human, the butterfly. So we're sort of, there's three natures, isn't there, really? There's animal, human, and then there's divine. But
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So you have to integrate everything to become one again, unity. We want to find unity.
Yeah.
And look at this, is very interesting that the concept of Om comes from the Mayan languages, because now we knew that the Mayans came to Asia to teach everything. And also we can find in the Ramayana and other texts that they say that the Nahua Mayas, the Nahualis Mayas, came to teach us everything. And the concept of Om is Aum. This is a very interesting book that we have this in Maya. A means ahau, that is masculine, father. U is moon, luna, feminine, mother. And M is mehem, man, the sun.
Wow.
It's the Trinity.
Wow, look at this. Hey, that's amazing, brother. Look. A, man, Adam. U, the woman, the uterus.
The uterus, yeah.
Yeah, and the M is the human man, the mansana, which is our torus field around our torso. So Aum, it's the perfect word.
Yeah. And look at this. This is the book of Manu, the Sloka 77 in Vedas says, no?
Mm-hmm.
Says that the monosyllable Aum means earth, firmament, and sky.
Wow, the firmament. It's always there, isn't it? Wow. Notice how the firmament is different to the sky. That's interesting.
Yeah.
The sky must mean the air in between the earth and the firmament, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also this, the Aum syllable refers to the deity, everything deity. So that the mystery and sacred word in the Mayan languages means that.
Oh my God. And look at the word idioma. Can you see God in there as well? Dio?
Dio, yeah.
Idio. So you can see Dio and mother. idioma. See, I see the word idioma as Adam, the one who speaks.
Sure.
Hey guys, I just want to jump in now. Anyone who wants to ask a question, line yourself up in the chat room. I'm going to let Roberto keep going with his slides. I'll be back in 1 minute. I've got to take a bathroom break. Roberto's going to continue on, and then everybody in the Zoom, if you want to just put your hand up, but wait till I get back. Don't jump in, just let Roberto continue. All right, brother, I'll let you go with it, and I'll be back in a minute.
Sure. Well, then we can tell here, when we're talking about Toltecs, it's not just a tribe, a culture, as I told you before. The Toltecs were human beings around the planet. And then we have the proofs in Egypt, in Babylon, Syria, Egypt. We're looking that we have the same beings around the planet teaching this knowledge. Remember, Toltecayo means the art of living well, the art of living in balance, following the principles of nature, create and find energy in order to transform yourself in a better version of yourself. And then we can tell here the maps, the ancient maps, that we can see here that America used to be part of Asia. Here is India, China, Cathay, Florida, Mexico, South America, Canada. And look at this. This is Superior India, Cathay. We can find the number Cathay or Cathay. And then we want to find here in Mexico, in another map, Cathay. And then here, Indias Orientales means the Western Indias in another map. And the Mar of, look at this, Mar, the Sea of Catayum. We find the same thing because we used to be the same civilization around the planet, but especially America and Asia, we used to be the same people. And look at this, another, Mayans and Sumerians, we have the same things. That's why we are talking about syncretism. Look at this, the temples in India, in Mexico, the Chacana in Bolivia, is an antenna, as Semitics, as I show you. And look at this, the same temples in India. And here, the same concept of the sound in Greece, in India. Everywhere we can find the same archetypes, and we are talking about the same history around the planet. The same temples, especially in India, especially in Mexico. Look at this in Sumeria, the same archetypes with the Mayans. And also here with the solar disk in Sumeria, Babylonia, Guatemala, Egypt. Talking about the same thing around the planet. Look at this. This is the Incas in Asia, in Greece, Indonesia, Mexico. We're talking about the Quetzalcoatl effect. There is the eagle, represents the soul, and the snake represents matter. That the soul has to be the control of the matter, not the larvatic body. Instead of the larvatic body, the soul has to have control, of the body, because now our soul is relegated because the larvatic body has taken control of our avatar.
Right.
That's why we have allegory of this, that the ego has to take the control of the matrix, of the matter. Look at this, and the same archetype for the tree of life. Here in Mexico, China, Mesopotamia, they're talking about the same principle. And also, this is very interesting because we're talking about the big trees that we used to have, the silicon trees, and also talking about the branches inside us, because we have the same concept of we have inside of our bodies, we have another trees. We have two trees, the tree of life, that is the circulatory system, and the tree of knowledge, that is the nervous system, because tree means branch. The branches is connecting everything. So we, in our interior, we have the the same concept of a tree, and also it's represented at the royal seal and the thing that I already know. And look at this around the planet, the same concept. Here in America, we have the same concept in Egypt, here in Peru, in Egypt. Look at this. This is Xolotl in Mexico, Anubis. It's a Xolotl. Xolotl is the Mexican dog or the American dog. Anubis is not a jackal. Actually it's a Xolotl.
A dog.
It's a dog, yeah.
The Canaanites.
Yeah, and actually both represent the same, the Mictlan, the underworld.
Yeah.
Look at this in Peru, in Egypt, the Mayans, here in Ecuador with Egypt, and the same cosmology. That's why we have to be syncretistas, because everything is one. Used to be. Look at this. This is the Olmec. Look at the features. They look like Mongolians.
Yeah.
Like Chinese, because we are used to be the same. I told you before. Asia and Mexico and America used to be the same people. Yep. Look at this. This is Mayan. And look at this, like a kimono, like Japanese kimono. In China, the tiger. In here we have the jaguar. Look at this in China and Mexico. Japan and Mexico.
Yep.
Another.
It's all the same, man. It's all the same.
It's the same.
The division.
China,
the division is the illusion.
For sure, it's just an illusion. Look at, and also this is very interesting. They were talking about giants. Look at this Mayan, it's giant. Those guys here, and look, compare it with this guy, it's giant. Also here, and that's why in Argentina they have the Patagonia. Yeah. Patagonia means the Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Pata is foot. Look at this, the map, the giants.
Yeah, Bigfoot, land of the Bigfoot.
Yeah, and now look at this. This is, I don't know if you can tell who is Mexican and who is Filipino. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, look at that.
This guy is Filipino, this guy is Mexican, because I know, but otherwise it's very hard. So people from Brazil, people from Tibet, people from North America, from Polynesia, the same people. Those cultures are the same. Here, look at this, is from Mexico. People with beard. Look at this, with beard. And also we used to have our yoga here in America. We practice the same thing, the mudras, meditation postures, asanas. Look at this, the Buddha with the Olmec figure. These postures, these asanas of yoga. The problem that in America we forgot everything because the Inquisition. No? We have been involved in the last 500 years in this dark time that we don't remember our culture, that we are worshiping Europe. Oh, Europe is everything, the Greeks and the Romans and now the Yankee style, the American dream, but we don't remember our past.
That's right. Yep.
That's and now the yoga we call in Kinam. We are developing the system. Like in India, we have different postures, but it's almost the same thing because it used to be the same. But we have different asanas, and now we have the call. If you want to research, look for Kinam. Kinam is the name of our yoga. Kinam means giant.
Wow, man! Look at the word ki, Reiki.
Reiki,
Ki energy, Christ, Kiro.
Exactly. Yeah, they're referring the same thing because ki in Maya also means energy. Means this kind of it's the same concept I told you. Asia and America we used to be the same, and now we have the representation of the planet around the all the cultures of our plane. They represent the same archetype: the dome, flat Earth. No, with the firmament, everything with the Navajos, Incas, Mayas, Mexicas.
I like the NASA one. That's better, man. I want to be upside down.
Yeah.
In Australia. I enjoyed growing up upside down. I don't know about you guys here in North America. You know, you guys are all on top of the globe, but I grew up under the globe. You know, down under, and I was always upside down, guys. You know?
Yeah. So we have more examples. Look at these black people in the Mayan culture. Whites. We are a mixture. So this is very crucial.
I love this page, guys. Pay attention. This is where it starts getting interesting. Look at North America. From Panama all the way up, used to be called Anahuac. Now we know who the Ana is, don't we?
Anahuac. So the name of our continent is not America, it's Amaruca.
Yep.
Amaru is in Quechua, in the language that the real name of Quechua is not Quechua, is Runasimi, is the name of the language from Peru and from Tahuantinsuyo. Runasimi means the language of the people. Amaru is the energy of the serpent, is the Quetzalcoatl. So Amaruca is the land, means the land of the feathered serpent.
Wow.
Because I told you, it's not because he's a god, it's because I told you, I explained you already what means Quetzalcoatl or Kukulkan, the same.
Yeah.
They're talking about that we come here to become in this, and that's why they named the continent, because they knew that they have to achieve this. And Amaruca, this is not America, it's Amaruca, and they organized the continent in two big confederations. The North Confederation and the Caribbean is Anahuac, and the South is Tahuantinsuyo. Two confederations. They used to be the same civilization with different cultures. And also they have different languages, but to communicate each other here in the northern confederation called Anahuac, they speak in Nahuatl. Most of the people in the past, they used to be bilinguals because they speak Mayan, Cherokee, Apache, Anasazi, whatever. But they have to learn Nahuatl to communicate each other. And also in Tahuantinsuyo, it's the same. They have different language, but they knew to speak in Runasimi. Runasimi is the Quechua language, but I told you it's not Quechua. But Runasimi was the main language of this confederation.
Do you think Runa has anything to do with runes?
For sure, for sure, because everything is related. As we can, I showed you before, around the planet, we have the same concept around the planet, the same thing. And we didn't have private property. We didn't have the concept of countries. We didn't have frontiers or boundaries. People used to travel freely through the continent, doing the Red Path from Alaska to Patagonia, and living in harmony, living freely, living in order to achieve this mission that I told you before. And they didn't have money, they didn't have private property, they didn't have rulers. That's the proof that our ancestors, they weren't savages, and they weren't people that used to worship gods and stupid things and killing each other and warriors, savage warriors, like the stupid movie, that Apocalypto, the Mel Gibson movie. That's the most stupid movie that I ever seen before, because it's bullshit, totally bullshit.
Cool.
It's totally, imagine the Mayans, they were
like his stupid Jesus movie that he made.
Yeah,
that's all the Jesuit.
It's programming bullshit. That
hocus pocus bullshit.
So that's the point of the name. So now this is very interesting. The name of this modern country, because we didn't have countries, because it's Mexico. But actually we consider ourselves Anahuacas. And Anahuaca could be a Mayan, could be a Cherokee, a Pony, whatever, a Mexica. We are actually Anahuacas. But then when they created the countries in America after the independence wars and all the things that the Masons created, the corporations, because countries is fucking corporations. They named this territory, the full territory, Mexico, but the real pronunciation is Mexico. That's we have two meanings of Mexico. The first one Mexico is, because Nahuatl is how do you say aglutinante? Agglutinated?
Combined, like agglutinated, conglomerate? No.
Yeah, I think it's glutinate or something, because come from glue. Glue is to stick, no? But no, it's the same the concept in India that they have in Sanskrit. That they break words to create another one. They make particles of different words to create one concept, and because they are practicing the concept of ometeo, synthesize everything. With few, say a lot. With less, create a lot. Save energy. That's why they create concepts with one word. They can describe a lot of things because it's also metaphorical. In Mexico is part of that metaphorical way to describe where are stepping on. So Mexico have two meanings because comes from met. Met in Nahuatl means maguey, this cactus, maguey. This is the maguey. It's the plant that we get mezcal, pulque, tequila, whatever, no? It's met, maguey. And then Xic is for Xicli. Xicli means navel, belly button. Ico is place. So Mexico, the first meaning is in the navel of maguey, and in the navel, and another meaning, me comes from mestli. Mestli means moon, luna. So we have two meanings, in the navel of maguey and in the navel of the moon. Because they are talking about locally. They're talking about, they describing the planet that we're living in. So met, maguey, this cactus, is an allegory of this. Look at this. It's a torus field.
Yeah.
So they knew that we are inside of the plane of inertia of the torus field. And also they knew that we are living in the navel of the moon, because we are living inside of the illusion of the mind. The moon represents the mind.
It does. Yeah.
We are in the illusion, the tonali, because the moon projects the matrix. The moon from Saturn then pass through the repetitor that is the moon, and the moon projects the holographic realm that we are living, the holographic illusionary projection that we are experiencing. And also, we can see that in the moon is the real map of the flat Earth.
Yeah. Yep.
Look at this. This is Africa, Oceania, America. I think you have seen this amazing documentary on YouTube.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah.
And this channel that is Bife of Cosmos or Bife, something like that. That describe this perfectly. When I see this, I say that's the answer. I think we start to we are approaching to the main thing. Slowly but slowly we are becoming to our target.
Yeah.
So that's why our ancestors named this part of the planet Mexico, but it's not just this territory, this land. They're talking about all of our planet we are living in.
Wow.
Look at this. This is the torus field, another black sheep, blue sheep, and represents by a maguey. This is an allegory. We are inside.
Yep.
More representations of the torus of the magnetic field. Look at this, the magnetic field.
Yeah.
The portals, the vortex. And look at this. This is the maguey. It's clearly is a torus field. Don't you think so?
Of course it is. I always say that tree is Tori.
For sure. And then we have this, the dream catcher is another torus field.
It is.
It's the magnetic field. The magic net is the magic net. Yeah, we are living in this. Everything is magnetism. It's the mother of everything.
Yep.
And the vortex, the black sun. Because we are here inside of the purgatory.
Yep.
Inside of the plane of nature. And also, as I told you, the King Cooks is telling about you have to go to the center again. The game starts at the center and it ends Eden at the center. This is the purgatory of the book of the La Divina Comedia, the book of Dante Alighieri. They describe the same thing. Inside, we're living in time in the hyperboloid, you say?
Yep, hyperboloid.
Hyperboloid is the hourglass inside of the torus field. And that's why we have the 7 colors here divided in the frequencies. And I'm going to share you another anagram here in Mexico. That's why also our ancestors called Mexico this, because they knew that we are living in the tonali. The number 7 that we have the 7 colors, the 7 frequencies. 7 in Nahuatl, we say chicome. If you start to repeat chicome many times, chicome, 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 what you're saying? Mexico. Chicome, 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 chicome.
Oh, wow.
Yes, an anagram, because Mexico is chicome 7, because we are inside of the influence of the moon, the frequencies of the illusion of the tonali, of the sign, the signal, the wave sign that I told you before. Mm-hmm. So that's why they didn't put the names randomly. They knew it, everything. So that's the toroid. It represents, I told you, the loop of the samsara, but you can use it in different, in two waves, of the negative in this loop, in the never-ending loop to samsara, reincarnation and death, whatever, no? Otherwise, you can use it to be here in order to transform yourself and escape from here. And you can tell the time, the hyperbole is represented by Chronos, the time, and the time is devouring his kids, because it's actually true. Time is killing us. Because we are giving the energy to that concept with our belief, because I told you, time doesn't exist. It's just a perception. It's just a program that they gave us.
The moment I give time any attention is the moment I start getting agitated, bored, and irritated. I can't give any attention. Pardon the pun. I can't give any time to time. I just can't do it. If I start putting things into time, I get all confounded and confused. The only way I can function is by being in now. I don't know whether it's just the spiritual stage that I'm at, or whether it's being Aryan, but time is just a great irritation to my skin. I think it makes me itch.
That's why we have to pass from time to synchronicity. Synchronicity is the answer to avoid this, and then because otherwise you're going to be living here inside of the cube.
Yeah,
the
for
cube
sure.
is the hex. The hex is the curse, is the something evil, is the existence, is the material thing, the density, that you're going to be here forever in the samsara cycle until the energy of your soul is going to finish at some point, and then you can't escape anymore from this tonality illusion matrix. So that's the point.
By the way,
to defeat.
Yeah. By the way, that fourth dimensional hypercube is called a tesseract, and that is the cage that we're in, guys, that Roberto's talking about. If we want to escape the limitations of that cage, that tesseract, that's the prison.
Yeah, that's the prison. That's the white hexagon of the Metatron cube.
Mm-hmm.
Hex is a maleficio, is something bad. Hexagon is retained or sometido. How do you say sometido? Subject. Agono means fish. That's why the Pope is wearing the hat in shape of a fish, because it's representing they are representing this kind of the prison that we are living. No, so hexagon means trap in the world of the malefic world, and Metatron, torment, 7 letters from the anagram, materia, 6 letters from the anagram, in the toroidal. So rotate over me, in the cube, in the kava, in the kabbalah. So this is the blueprints of our prison in this matrix.
And look at the word meta too, in the metaverse, right?
Yeah, metaverse. They were creating now the new metaverse.
Yeah, well, it's always been. It's always it's the same old stuff. It can't do anything new. Meta is another way of saying atum.
They want to put us in another matrix, another layer of the matrix, using this, wearing these glasses in this virtual reality. So you're going to you think that you're going to escape from matrix? No, you are getting in another deeper matrix, another layer.
Different but the same.
And also meta means to burn. Temar.
Yeah.
To burn. They are burning us here in this existence that we have to return to the point and say that remember that the X in the Roman numbers is 10. Say 10.
Yeah.
Remember, 10. Binary code, duality. We have to escape from duality, from this hive mind collective extraction energy system. We are functioning like bugs, like insects, because now we are have been controlled in this plan ET, etheric plane. The planet is plan ET, and also alien means lien, and a lease is a warranty, the bank warranty, a lien, because we have this lien with the extraterrestrials. That's why called this plan ET. The planet is an ET, and also look at this, the apple, the toroidal field. If you put it together, you can find here.
Wow.
Aliens.
Wow, look at the eyes. They correspond to the heart.
Yeah. And we are living in this illusion like this. Like machines, we are not thinking about by ourselves, extracting our energy, like zombies. And then we are living here in the enclosed system, with a dome, with everything. Our ancestors really knew. Actually, you put another day you post something in your on your Facebook that you saw this. I don't know where on the streets. I don't know explaining how the Mayans knew that the Earth was flat or is flat.
Yeah.
So that's the point of it, that we're living under a glass dome.
Yeah.
Look at this, the rainbow. That's why I call rainbow, because you need something in this shape to create a bow.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's impossible.
Exactly.
And divide in the 7 colors, the 7 layers, the frequencies of the illusion, the tonality. No, the Shikome 7, Shimeshiko. And this is the turtle is an allegory of this. That's why our ancestors here in America, the animal that represents the earth is the turtle.
Yeah. Yeah, and because it's got 12, see, it's got 12 and 19, it's got all the numbers of the zodiac on its back. 12.
It's a beautiful allegory, because they knew that we are under a dome like this. Doesn't move, and also look at this. The stones of the earth is the same as the skin of the turtle.
Yep.
Representing the hexagon, the same thing. And look at this. This is the Tahuantinsuyo from Inca's cosmology of the earth. The Mayans, the same. The plane.
Yep.
The plane of inertia.
Plane of inertia.
Inside. So actually, the earth is flat, is round, is hollow.
Yes.
Why we say that? Because it's spherical, but not because we are inside on the spherical, very hard, rocky spherical planet. This is spherical because the electromagnetic field and the dome, and then it's hollow because we are inside, and it's flat because we are in the plane of inertia. So the 3 concepts can match together, but we have to put it in the same in the correct
system
concept, in the correct concept, no?
Yep.
So we can see the 3 are correct, but we have to explain it and realize that the correct way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And look at this. This is the cosmology. I found this image from I don't remember, I think from Yucatan, from a museum. I took a picture of this, the cosmovision of the earth. Look at this, the tree of life, the magnetic rupus nigra, the dome, and it's the same like the in the same the Norse cosmology with the tree.
Yggdrasil.
We have Yggdrasil. Look at this. And also we have almost the same concept. The center where we are living in, we call it Tlactipac. Tlactipac means the Middle Earth. Then above we have Topan, the firmament. And below we have
Top.
Top, exacto. And above or below we have Mictlan, the place of the death, Mictlan. If we're living here in the Middle Earth.
Yeah. Midgard. Midgard.
With
Midgard.
the tree
The
of
middle
life.
garden.
The tree of life, and look at this, the snake is representing this, I told you, the frequency, the wave that we are living, that we have to surpass. And look at this, the chacana, the cross of Quetzalcoatl, is the concept, is the same frequency, it's an antenna. And the quincux is here, that is telling you the existence is outside, and you have to go to the center, to your navel heart. Another depiction of the plane with the Mayans, look at this. I think the Mayans were the best humans that decodified matrix, because they put it very well explained in this matrix called Solkin. The Solkin Mayan is the explanation how the torus fields moves in cycles, because everything is cycles, it's repeating all the time, moving the ball all the time, the constellations around of an axis, Polaris. And look at this. Yeah, they are explaining very well we are living in this plane of inertia. And look at this, the United Nations, the dome, the tree, and look at this, the same. They are putting in plain sight everything, no? In front of you is putting you the truth. But we are blind to see it. I mean, another presentation that this energy is carrying the earth, the flat earth. It's not carrying a bowl. It's the flat earth. Look at this, the ocean. Another representation of the same. This is from the Indian culture, Meru, Jambudvipa. You look at this. This is the Navajo representation here in the United States. The same concept. Yep. And this is the vortex. The swastika represents the vortex.
Yep, it does.
It's the vortex, is the movement of the energy in the left and right direction. It's very ancient. And also the zero concept is represented here by the toroidal field. The torus field. Okay? This is the represent of zero. Our ancestors represent the zero with that shell.
Wow.
And don't forget that Mayans discovers the zero.
Yep.
And now with the zero we are living in, thanks to the zero, we have the binary code. And look at this around the planet, the same concept of the toroidal field, the spiral.
Yep.
Everywhere. Yeah, this is the Solkin, the butterfly. As you can see, this is a butterfly, a papalot. Look at this, it's the galactic butterfly.
Yep.
That you have to transform and change this loop in another thing for your benefit. Living in synchronicity. Look at this. Ouroboros in Mexico, the same concept that is telling you that you are, listen, immortal, not immortal, because immortal is getting, immortal is without death. That's why we say amor. Amor means in Latin, sin muerte, without death. That's why we are immortals. Because this is immortality. Because you can use this loop for your own benefit with the generation, operation, and dissolution, the toroidal field effect. This a torus field from above. When you see it above, it's the same thing. And also this is meaning the beautiful energy that we experience all the time, that we call autophagy. Because we are eating ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't need to eat something outside. This is another deception.
Yep.
To eat food, actually the diet is an anagram of die.
Dying. That's why
Right.
Jesus said, drink my blood and eat my flesh. That's what we're doing.
Yeah,
Every time we
sure.
drink, we're drinking the blood of God, which means the material world. We are drinking of our own body. You know,
Yeah, and also you practice urine therapy.
Yeah, of
it's
course.
the same thing, because our ancestor says, don't look anything outside that you have inside. And it's literally so. Our cells are practicing all the time autophagy, eating themselves, because they're eating the excretions that they produce, and they also have their own torus field, their own mechanism to live as long as you want. But the problem that we are blocking the energy, wasting all our energy that I told you before, fornicating, gluttony, drunkenness, all the things that we already know that we are a slave of that impulse. And look at this. This is the flat earth on the world, that we have the black sun. In the cosmic womb that we come from is the same thing that our ancestors said, that this is the physical and the etheric realm. And this realm, we call it Tamauchan or Temauchan. It's like the paradise of the Hyperborea. It's the same concept of Hyperborea. Hyperborea means beyond the Aurora Borealis or beyond the Dirmuch.
Yeah.
So that's why you have to return to the center again, to your navel heart, first to your heart and then to the heart of the planet. That's the point that the vortex is creating. This is the exit. Exit means also ex-it, that you have to be, how to explain this? Ex is something that is like ex-boyfriend, or is something that is just to be.
Yeah.
And it, cosa en español, it is, you have to stop to be an it. Don't be an it. Be something superior than a dense body or a dense material frequency.
Wow. All right, guys, we're winding down. We've got 8 minutes. I can see quite a few people in the Zoom meeting there, but I can also see that Roberto has got a lot of slides, and I'd rather...
I'm gonna finish.
No, I'd rather you just use up the last 8 minutes, man. No calls. Sorry, guys. Sorry, David. I see you've been there waiting for a while, brother, but you're going to be on next week anyway. So, David Thomas or Atum is going to be back for the third time. So, pardon me, guys, but I want to see the rest of these slides. Keep going, Roberto, please.
I'm going to finish soon.
The last 10
So
minutes.
look at this. That's why our ancestors built these temples, because they're representing everything, allegories of that is happening in this plane, the astrological, all the physical phenomena. And this is the path of the sun. Look at this, in a spiral, creating a pyramid shape. So it's representing that as below, so as above, so below. And this is the quincunx I told you. The concepts explain the verticality and the horizontal life. The horizontal life is the matrix, the tonali, and the verticality is the nawali, the abstract, the ascension. And the ascension has to emerge from your navel heart, from the center. Another representation of this is a Mayan codex. Look at this, the tree of life, the quincunx. And the center, all the time is telling you, go to the center. Another representation, the Tamauchan, where they are creating the human beings inside of this, the paradise that we come from.
Wow.
Representing the tree of life. This is the electromagnetic field that we are living, experiencing. The Manmeru, that I told you, the Tamauchan is inside. Tamauchan means the house of the descension of, and also this has two meanings: the house of the descent and the house of the quest. Because we are searching to go back to our original state of energy and frequency. So Mexico, inside of the navel of the moon, I told you, because we are living by the influence of the moon that controls our mind. The moon represents the mind. And I told you, is the map of the flat Earth, is a reflection, it's a mirror of our plane we are living. That's why our ancestors chose the name of Mexico, because they knew that, the holographic progression from Saturn, Moon, and Earth. And Saturn, Satan, is the same word, Satan, X, binary codes. And also in Spanish, if you read Satan from left to right, is natas. Natas means toxins.
Wow, that's big.
We have to get rid of our toxins, physical toxins, to eliminate mind, because to control the mind, I told you, intestine control your brain.
Yep.
So if you remember this, clean body, clear mind.
Yes, purification, guys.
Otherwise,
Purgatory.
it's impossible. That's why your first war is against you. You have to defeat this, but first you have to cleanse your body. That's why our ancestors created the system of the Temazcali, and also it's a concept that they call Chipagua, that means purification and transparency, that you have to purify your body, eliminating and getting rid of toxins, physical toxins, by fasting, sweating, exercise, meditate, and another things that you have to practice every day in order to clean your avatar, to start to perceive this reality clearly and with more consciousness. And look at this. This is what the moon is creating. The illusion is giving you back to the samsara cycle again. When you're there and you see the light, the tunnel, I see the light. This is a trap, because you are incorporating your soul to the system of matrix again.
Yep.
So that's, I told you, monster is moon, monster is a monster. That's another word, that menstrual, the women have the menstrual cycle, is menstrual, because it's ruled by the moon. Men is mind, mentis, mentira, to lie. Ceremony, we are to be a moon, to be a moon. Because fetus is feed us. You have to create more humans in order to feed the archons and whatever you want to call them, the controllers of matrix, because they become humans into this. We are creating energy for this human farm, moon, monster, lunatic, crazy. The government ruled by mind. Governed is ruled, mente. So government means ruled by your mind, by the collective hive mind. We are connected, all of us, and that's why our ancestors were living in this collective dream, that we have to awake and start to live in and create our own dream. So I told you, mente comes from Latin, mens, mentis. So it's a variant of to lie. So the mind is in charge to build our reality. That's why the system is fundamental for the system, to create your mind from your childhood. It's a very long process of hacking until get duplicate or bend your will and control through a basic mental program. That's why they created the scholar system, and also the TV system, because that's why we have this name of TV program, radio program, because they are programming us all the time. So they are representing in the Toltec tradition the moon with this archetype that called Coyoshautli. Coyoshautli comes from a word that is coyote. Coyote means jingle bell, or like a rattle, like rattlesnake. That means coyote, because they talking about the moon is producing this kind of negative frequency.
Yep.
And you can the shape of the body is a vortex, it's a swastika. Look at this, the vortex.
Yep.
But now the real vortex was cut and divided, and is distorted and different. It's not so. It's divided also the head from the body, and now we can find here the stars, and also this is we have a lot of information here. I don't want to explain it, but they are telling us that we are living in this. I show you the proofs that our ancestors, they really knew where we are living in.
All right,
This is
Roberto,
the pyramid of mood.
Beautiful. Hey, listen, can you wrap it up now, wind it up, and we're going to do a part 3. We're just going to have you back. This is too much. This is the best syncretism I've ever seen in my life. Like, this is unbeatable, brother. We're definitely going to have you back. I can see a lot of people would love to have asked questions, but...
yeah, okay. Then give me 1 minute to close this, and yeah, that's it.
Yep.
So this is the pyramid of the moon in Teotihuacan, and that's why it's at the bottom of the facility, and because the moon represents mind. In our ancestors say that you have to empty your mind if you want to thrive, and if you want to change and transform yourself. This is the secret of this. And also you have to defeat the larvatic body with the right frequency. This is the larvatic body. Look at this, the nervous system with the snake here controlling everything. So the point of this is fight your own war. You fight your own war to defeat that, because we are living in the altered carbon. So now you have to pass from carbon into silicon again.
Yep.
Defeats density, because now we are becoming human resources. That's why they call it human resources. Cuerpo is a corpse, body, corpse, emergency. Now we are treating like that, because now we are humans, batteries humans, to create energy from them, because we have been mined from the mind, extracting gold, because it's mine, my mind, my gold, my owns. That's why we are living in the wizard of Oz, because Oz means gold. They are mining our gold, our plasma from our spine. This is the equalizer of our spine, that we create our plasma. If we are being mined, because we are giving energy from them. And now we are really, most of the humans on the planet, we are living like zombies, like this, walking deads, and sleeping, walking, by living by controlling by the moon, and by mental body. And
let's finish with a nice picture, please.
I hope you enjoy it, and I'll give you the explanation of the names. And also we have, in another occasion, I'm going to explain you another concept of in our body, in our chemical, because our sisters, they were very scientific, real scientists. They're talking about alchemy, energy, whatever we want to call them. So they knew all the principles that we are living. They put it in the concepts of the in this case, in the Toltec that we are decoding, and I'm sharing with you, because also I practice them, and I knew that it's real because I experienced. That's why I'm telling you this, because I experienced this. I don't read a book before and I say I want to see this because I read a book. No, it's because I experienced this since a lot of years ago. This is a lifestyle that if you start to aware and be aware of this and start to put in practice of this kind of knowledge, your life is going to change for a better purpose. And for me, I think that I want to get until my limits mark, but I want to get out of this illusion once and for all. And I'm going to try it at least. But for that, you have to be aware and then put your force of will to manifest the changes outside of you.
Beautiful. All right, Roberto. Oh, my God. I could just sit here for hours and hours and hours. But 2 hours is the limit. That is...
Yeah, it's okay.
Yep, that's what we do, and we got to keep to that. So... thank you for joining us and being generous with your time once again. Sorry to all you guys who were lined up who would love to ask the question. Perhaps next time Roberto comes back in September, we'll get him to do a real quick 1 hour one, and then just because I didn't allow questions this time, we'll do a whole hour of questions. All right, so save your questions, because this is probably one of the best presentations I've ever seen.
Yeah, it will be great. Because I just have from 1 hour more from that slide, and then it's a great idea to open the class to questions and interact. It will be great.
That'll be in September, I promise you all, guys. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining in. Please don't forget to share, subscribe. Come together with the Syncretism Society, and we're going to make some great, beautiful, beautiful changes in this world. And we're going to do what Roberto was talking about, manifesting something way, way better than this. Okay, this time period and this world, this construct that these archons have made, it's boring. Time is it's ugly, it's boring. Let's get out of it. Let's be in the now. Let's join syncretism, make syncretism go, and make a collective far, far better dream that we've been dished up with. Thank you, Roberto. I love you, brother. Take care.
Asokamati, thank you all. I hope you enjoy.
Ometeot. Aho.
Ometeot.
Until next time, take care, everybody.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.